Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Gloria Atta. Welcome. There's palpable tension in Ikpetumodun, Osun State, as a meeting of princes on Tuesday ended in a heated disagreement over the fate of the town's traditional stool. The controversy follows the conviction of Oba Joseph Oloyede in the United States, where he was handed more than 4 years in prison for COVID-19 loan fraud. In response, one of the princes called for the immediate declaration of the Ikpetumodu stool vacant, asking the Ashalu of Ikpetumodu, Chief Sunday Adedeji, the most senior surviving kingmaker, to write a formal letter to Governor Ademola Adeleke. However, Chief Adedeji flatly rejected the move. His refusal sparked a shouting match among attendees inside the palace, forcing the meeting, which began at 4 p.m., to collapse by 6 p.m. Afterward, Prince Olaboye Ayola of the Aribile ruling house explained that Adedeji stood firm, refusing to declare the throne vacant despite mounting pressure. Contacted later, Chief Adedeji maintained his stance, saying he would not be part of any move to dethrone the embattled monarch. The stalemate now leaves the future of the Ikpetumodu stool uncertain, deepening divisions among the royal houses and prolonging tension in the ancient town. The Idoma Area Traditional Council, Benue State, has said that President Bola Tinubu's name was never included in any list of individuals presented for a traditional title by the Igede Traditional Council. The secretary to the paramount ruler of the Idoma Traditional Council, Adegbe Uloko, made this known in a statement made available to journalists on Tuesday. The clarification from the Idoma Area Traditional Council comes amid rumors and media reports suggesting that President Bola Tinubu's name was among those affected in the nullification of traditional titles in Benue State. The controversy stems from recent actions by the council, which suspended the conferment of chieftaincy titles within Idoma land. According to the IATC, the directive, first issued on August 19 and reinforced on September 2nd, was a general order aimed at halting all traditional title conferments by immediate area councils until proper vetting and approval processes were completed. The council emphasized that neither the president nor the secretary to the government of the federation submitted on any of the submitted lists. Meanwhile, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has paid a visit to Nigeria's former Attorney General Abubakar Malami, whose convoy was recently attacked by unknown gunmen. During the visit, Malami praised the former Vice President for showing leadership qualities that go beyond politics. In a goodwill remark, Malami noted that one of the true marks of a leader is the ability to stand by people, both in good and bad times, a virtue he said Atiku embodies and which has continued to earn him respect across the country.
Thank you very much indeed for your leadership, for your contributions, for your loyalty, and I hope we will continue to work together until we kick out this government and install a real democratic government administration for this country, which is going to be dedicated to the security, welfare, and the unity of this great country. That's why we said, they are attacking democracy, and we have to defend democracy. Yes. So, on behalf of all of us here, we sympathize with you and we assure you of our support and solidarity at all times.
Ainihin nagarta wadda ke da nasaba da shugabanci.
One quality of a leader is the ability to be there for someone in the good and bad times. Your Excellency, I am glad that this is one of the virtues God has blessed you with, and we appreciate your leadership in this aspect.
A fresh travel hurdle has emerged for Nigerians as the Qatari Ministry of Interior has rolled out new visa rules, citing recent cases of overstays by Nigerian travelers as the reason behind the move. Under the new policy, a tourist or transit visa will no longer be processed without proof of a confirmed return ticket and hotel reservations. But that's not all. Eligibility has been further narrowed as only females or families can now apply. Furthermore, male travelers, unless accompanied by their families, have been cut off entirely. Also, in a move seen as targeting affordability, only 5-star hotel bookings will now qualify applicants for a visa. This development is, however, not isolated, as Nigerians have faced similar restrictions in the past, from visa bans in the United Arab Emirates to tightened entry rules in Saudi Arabia and Morocco, all tied to concerns over migration and overstay. The policy, which took effect around September 5, 2025, was first reported by industry sources and travel agencies last week. For many Nigerians hoping to travel to Qatar, the message is clear. The bar has been raised higher than ever, and the latest restrictions may leave thousands grounded at home. Now, calls for French President Emmanuel Macron's resignation have grown louder after the collapse of his government in a no-confidence vote. The motion, triggered by Prime Minister Francis Bayrou's decision to slash public spending and reduce France's debt, was passed with 364 votes against the government and only 194 in favor.
The current crisis, which began in June 2024, when Macron dissolved the National Assembly hoping to gain a stronger mandate in snap elections, resulted in a fractured parliament with no clear majority, leading to increased power for both far-left and far-right parties. Consequently, Perrault's government faced opposition from both the far-right and left-wing parties, who denounced the plan as unfair and targeting the poorest people in France. The budget plan aimed to cut €44 billion from public spending to reduce France's public debt, which stands at 114% of its GDP. France's economy is facing significant challenges, including a high debt-to-GDP ratio and a budget deficit that exceeds the European Union's 3% ceiling. The country is also experiencing rising inflation, high unemployment rates, and growing social unrest. The ousting of Perrault has sparked widespread protests and strikes across France, with trade unions and civil society groups demanding better economic policies and greater social justice. The protests, organized by a movement called Block Everything, have brought roads, schools and businesses to a standstill, adding further strain on an already embattled government. As tension continues to rise, French President Emmanuel Macron now faces the challenge of appointing a new prime minister who can push through a budget and stabilize the country's economy. However, with a fractured parliament and growing social unrest, Macron's options are limited, and the risk of further political instability is high.
From time immemorial, it has been a practice in Africa that a woman is expected to take up the husband's surname after marriage. The discourse centers around the question, should the wife retain her father's last name, or is it 100% mandatory to change the name to the husband's last name?
Some respondents are of the opinion that the last name should be retained, further buttressing their point that in some religious backgrounds, such as Islam, the wife is not expected to take the husband's last name, saying that in any circumstance, your father still remains your father, but issues like divorce jeopardize the title one's husband would hold in her life.
I don't think it's mandatory because circumstances warrant many things. A situation whereby you keep your husband's name as your surname, anything can come up, either divorce or death. But once you maintain your father's name, your father remains your father at all costs, even if he's dead. So looking at it in a religious aspect, me, I'm a Muslim. I come from Islamic background. So we believe and maintain this culture of keeping our father's name as our surname at all costs. Because even if your father died, you still remain your father. And there's no way you can divorce your father, neither your father divorce you. Isn't it? So I think keeping your father's name as your surname always, I think is more preferable than changing your father's name to your husband's name as your surname.
Others agree that the last name of the husband should be used by the wife, stating that after marriage, the husband and wife are now one union. Hence, the last name is one of the criteria which should be seen as a norm.
As a woman, once you've agreed to leave your parents' house, you are going to another new home, another new life entirely. So as a woman, you are supposed to bear the surname of your husband, because once you declare to your husband in front of the church, in front of the congregation, telling them that I do. So anything you're supposed to do with your husband is supposed to be unique. You must not change. You must not change your wells with your husband. You must be unique. You must be optimal with your husband, because when you are in your father's house, you bear miss. So once they declare you as husband and wife, that means you are now Mrs. That Mrs. carries your husband's name.
Mandatory for a wife to take the surname of her husband, definitely, because it's not as if some people might see that the wife might be indebted to the husband, but no, it's definitely, I'm in full support of it. The wife should take the surname of the man, and also your own the wife own can still be behind.
Although some agree, while others express contrary views, others, however, are of the opinion that it's not an issue if the husband's last name is used or not, but that he personally would see it as important.
There are some people that, in Africa or in Nigeria, maintain their father's name, like Joke Silva and, some other people like that. But, they'll want to still tell you that, no, you don't have to bear your father's name once you are married. You have to bear your husband's name, so that the name will identify who you are really marrying. For me, I would advise that any man that wants to get married, there should be a mutual understanding between himself and his wife that should we maintain my name, or should we add your father's name to my name, so that the family should grow to a very high level of thinking.
Arogundadi Muturayo, reporting for Clearview News.
Now, a U.S. woman charged with registering her dog to vote appeared in court Tuesday, facing charges that could see her jailed for 6 years. Laura Urex, 62, posted a photograph on social media showing her dog, Maya Jean, wearing a "I voted" sticker after California's 2021 gubernatorial election. Another post from October 2024 showed a photograph of Maya's dog, Tag, and a vote by mail ballot with the caption, "Maya is still getting her ballot, even though the dog has died." Urex of Costa Mesa, south of Los Angeles, later reported herself to authorities over the alleged voter fraud last year. Consequently, the local district attorney investigated, and she was charged with multiple felonies, including perjury, procuring or offering a false or forged document, casting a ballot when not entitled to vote, and registering a non-existent person to vote. After a brief court appearance Tuesday, in which she did not enter a plea, Urex's lawyer said his client has sought to highlight what she saw as defects in the system. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.